actually thank God that it's doing well because I'm working so hard for it. And in the last couple of years, there's been so many changes, and I've really stuck my neck out against a lot of people's advice, and it's worked, so I'm happy. Well, obviously, over the past few years, I've been asked why has this happened, why are you so successful? And I can only put it down to what other people can put it down to. The right place at the right time. I mean, the success of the TV show obviously helped a lot. But with everyone, there's an element that you can't put your finger on, and I'm glad I don't know what it is because I would mess it up. In the beginning, basically I knew nothing, and look back on that time with a lot of embarrassment and a touch of fondness because I know that will never happen again. I will never be so naive again. And well, musically at that time, I just did what I was told to do, and I remember recording. I should be so lucky, dare I say. I came to England with my new manager, like my first, I still work with him, but I had just got a manager. I remember being even too scared to say manager. I used to say, oh, this is Terry and he looks after me, you know. Anyway, we came to London for about 10 days and we were basically ignored for 9 of those days, and on the 10th day, I said, oh, I'll come in, and the guys wrote the song in 10 minutes and I recorded it on my way to the airport. So it was just disastrous. I was so scared and upset and nervous, and I don't even know how I got any words out. So those days were very different to now, where I've actually just been writing with Mike Stock, which is incredible, because to think I used to be sent out of the studio so they could write the next verse. It's like 2 different worlds. When I look back to that time, it's really like looking at someone else, musically and personally. I think for any artist, it's hard to look back, and I know for myself, I'm always one step ahead of myself. In fact, I have to grab a hold of myself sometimes and say, slow down, and especially in the last 1.5 years, because I wanted to be where I am now back then, but obviously it couldn't have happened without some patience and the whole transitional period. But it's so unfair. You see, most of you guys have tucked your old 16-year-old embarrassing school photos under the bed, or you've cut them up, or your granny's got them, never to be seen again. And well, everything, my growing up has been documented, and it's quite embarrassing. I look forward to a few years away where I can look back on it and just laugh. At the moment, I can kind of laugh a little bit and also feel terribly embarrassed. Okay, I'm avoiding subject of video. I will tell you my least favourite video, just look to my assistant, is Hand on Your Heart. And I did, that was the red dress and the yellow dress and the blue dress with matching little pumps. Very nice. I think I'm blushing. That was done in Melbourne, and that was the last video I did with that group of people. Better the Devil You Know, I have such fond memories of that, because that is, or was, the changing point. I mean, just as an example, prior to that, I would be asked, oh, Kylie, would you like to see a single cover? You sure? I mean, I can go to Outprice, you know, if that's a problem. That was pretty much the state of affairs. And from Devil onwards, I would say, here's my video. I don't care if you don't like any shots in it. This is it. here's my record cover, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm not doing. And it was very difficult to stand up and make very different changes. But yeah, so from then on, all of the image has been completely up to me. I mean, I won't let any record company people so much as put a finger on it anymore. And the music has changed as well, because I reached a point with SAW that they knew that I was changing, and if I wasn't allowed to change with them, I wouldn't do anything at all. I'd rather forget it. Overseeing them. It's an area where it's my face, it's my image, so I want to be happy with the end result. And I love them. I love working to camera, and I haven't done a film in 2 years, so that's as close as I get. I love the whole atmosphere, the film, and the formality of filming. And I mean, it goes without saying that still the song is the most important thing, and if you don't have a good song, you may get some players on a TV show, but it's not going to sell your records. So I love them. I love doing them. Well, after What Do I Have to Do, which really stirred them up, I decided to, that was a big step, and if I took another step on the most recent video, the same size, it would have been too much. So with the last song, I took a smaller step. Even though it is called Shocked, I decided to tone down a bit. I like to cause a bit of a stir, and it's not. The videos aren't solely for that. It's a bonus.
Shot like the lightning from up above, down from the heavens, and it gave me love from a man who respects me, loves my mind as well as my body. No retreat and no surrender, equal to you regardless of gender, giving me love that is warm and tender. That's why I gotta tell you.
I've been asked, well, 6 months ago, oh, tell us about your change of image. And I find that a difficult question, because what am I meant to say? An image is something you look at and you make of it whatever you will. And it annoys me when they think it's just a change of clothes and a change of hairdo. First of all, it has to be a change in me, which is true, and that was maybe 2 years ago, a bit less. And a lot of that was to do with Michael, which, I mean, I was getting annoyed at being asked that all the time around that period, but it is very true, and I think it shouldn't go without saying that he encouraged me to think for myself and do what I wanted to do. But yeah, the change definitely has to be in yourself, otherwise it won't be a lasting change. It will just be a cover-up. I don't know why they like to think that you're actually incapable of making those changes yourself. You must have got in some fabulous people to make all the decisions for you. I still get fabulous people to come and help me in all sorts of areas, but the final decision has to be mine. And you can make someone look like anything, but they have to carry it off in the end. anything I do might make the paper. I mean, I could, you know, like kind of wipe my eye and then the paper's going to blow it up. She was in tears, whatever. I mean, there's just a general pressure. It's like working 24 hours a day a lot of the time, which is a complaint, but in the end I'm self-employed, so if I really don't like it or feel that I can't take it anymore, it's up to me to step out, which I have considered before. I think maybe 2 years ago when all this change was happening and I couldn't work in the same way any longer. I don't look for press on myself, but if I see it in the papers, and particularly if it's something untrue or something that's, if it's something that's libelous, or, I mean, then I would take action, but generally it's not worth worrying about. Today's newspapers, tomorrow's fish and chips, and people's, the public's opinion, they're so fickle, it can be swayed from day to day anyway, so it's best not to try not to worry about it. But sometimes it can just like kill me. It's like, how dare these people, how dare they think that they know how I feel about something, or what I'm doing, or who I'm seeing, or what kind of relationship I'm in. How could they know? I've just had to toughen up. I'm actually a very sensitive person, so it can be difficult at times. But yeah, I try to think, or try to remind myself that no matter what they say, no matter what pictures they get, if they actually can't get inside me. They can't, what I would hope that they can't mess with my mind and my heart too much. Each time I do a tour, I feel more and more comfortable. And the last one was I had a really good time, and the results were great. So the tour for England will be an extension of that. I will possibly have an album out before then, so, you know, new single, new album, and I hope to make it very glamorous, and I mean, my show is not like a rock show. I don't know that many are these days anyway. There's lots of dancing, choreography, and cover songs and all sorts of things. In one of the first shows, I was looking at pretty much a sea of 5-year-olds and their parents, and the last tour was like just teenagers to about mid-30s or 40, and it was like the audience just elevated from this high to grown-ups, and it's great because it affects my show, and I guess in the first shows, if there was anything sexual or whatever, it would have gone straight over the kids' heads anyway. But when I know there's 10,000 people that know exactly what I'm talking about, I tend to play it up on it a bit more.
You and I are of the same mind. It seems to me that we're one of a kind. It's true to say that when love is blind, but then true love is so hard to find. You respect me and the things I do. It was meant to be, I was made for you. Open the door to my heart, it stopped, and I'm shocked.
I'm interested in astrology. I really don't know much about it, but I'm a very typical Gemini. I have 10 million different characters, and I don't know who they all are, but they keep reappearing. But I like being a Gemini. Most Geminis do. You meet other people who say, "You're a Gemini. Oh, you must be fabulous." Geminis are like that.